Ladies and gentlemen, we are now gathered to induct the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame is important for many reasons. In addition to the fact that he's the final member of our fourth class here in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame and our 40th member, he is also the first person of color to be in our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And with Black History Month here this month, I thought there would be no better person to conclude our fourth class here in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Every member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame has a unique journey. Every member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame has a story that they've gotten a chance to tell, which is why they're here in our Hall of Fame. But our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, in many ways, had the most touching journey. Off the screen, of course, because on the screen, he has certainly been a part of one of the most potent groups in the state of Maryland of late. We'll touch upon that in a few minutes. But when I think about the journey of our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, from his upcoming in the streets in Baltimore and the city of Maryland, and what he struggled with his family and dealing with homelessness, death, drugs, he was certainly one of the most unlikely to be in any Hall of Fame, let alone be a world heavyweight champion. But he made it. He made it because he believed in himself. And he made it because he loved the sport of wrestling. And the sport of wrestling brings people together from all backgrounds in all walks of life. Over 1 month ago, to start this year in 2024, we had started a term called All Wrestling Matters. And that includes people of all walks of life, whether it's orientation, whether it's background, whether it's country, whether it's type of wrestling. And our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame fits that definition to a T, because he's a part of history. In many ways, our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame is our own Ron Simmons. He's our own The Rock. He's our own Mark Henry. He's our own Kofi Kingston. He's our own Big E. But he certainly, on the screen, has deserved being in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, because he's been of a group called the Golden Dynasty. And boy, have they done a thing or two to warrant themselves being called a Golden Dynasty, whether it's in Forever EBW or it's in EBW Pro. Most notably, where on December 2nd, 2023, our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame probably cemented himself in history in going in to our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, winning his first major singles championship, winning the EBW Pro IR championship, and certainly making a name that we'll remember till the day I die, until the day that Sportswire Radio's Hall of Fame becomes so big that it'll overtake that Wrestling Hall of Fame they quote-unquote call the one that WWE made. When I think about the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, and I think about the story of our newest member, I couldn't think of a better person to be our final member of the fourth class. The Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame has been some of the biggest names that have come on here throughout my 5-year journey. We've had people that have played in the NCAA Final Four. We've had somebody in R.P. Davis, the natural-born fighter, who is the only person in the country of Britain to have been a major boxing world champion and a wrestling world champion. Luke Leyland, the first person ever outside of the country of Africa, Nigeria, or elsewhere in the surrounding areas to have fought in the African Warriors Fighting Championship, which is a sport of Dambe. We've also had somebody in Dean Olmark who only trained some person named Timeless Tony Storm, the AEW Women's Champion. And on top of that, he's only defeated two names most wrestling fans have heard of, Jushin Thunder Liger and Bryan Danielson.
Oh,
It's a long list of names that are here in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. But I'd like to point out, before I congratulate our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, and our fourth member in the class, the 40th member, that he may call himself the infamous Montana. But as I stated the first time we had him on, now he's going to be just as popular and probably more famous of note than Joe Montana, who, oh, by the way, is only one of a handful of quarterbacks to have won 3 Super Bowls as a starter. Really proud to have this Montana in our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame because we actually turned down Joe Montana to be in this Hall of Fame because we wanted actually a current world champion. But
Yeah.
I could go on and on and on about our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. But I officially now want to congratulate our newest member and the 4th member in the final class here of the 4th class. I said that so many times over, I even forgot that he's actually the 40th member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. But certainly, with everything going on out in the world and it being Black History Month, I could not think of a better person to officially conclude our 4th class here in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. The infamous Montana, you are now officially our 40th member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. But before I officially congratulate you on what it's like to be a Hall of Famer, I have to give you that ceremonial introduction to close it out like everybody else has got. You know, DVG got his last week. I got to do it a little bit better than his, and I got to do it better than Dean Allmark's, R.P. Davis's, Luke Leyland's, Danny Burns, who played in the Final Four. I mean, we can go on and on. I probably forgot a few others, but it's time now to formally give you that introduction that the previous 39 members have gotten. And so your place in history so you can finally speak and tell me, shut the heck up. But let's go for it here. So with Without further ado, here on the Sports Report,
Muffle up on. Yeah.
Number one. Global Sports Show, the reigning, defending EBW Pro, IR champion of the world, from the group, the Golden Dynasty, and the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, our final member of the 4th class, and the 40th member of our Hall of Fame. His name is the Montana. The champ is here. Congratulations, my friend. You're officially a Hall of Famer.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you for so many reasons, right? And I can't be more than honored to be inducted into the Sportswire Hall of Fame, the Reverend Tom Bryce himself. I appreciate you so much, brother. You know what I'm saying? Where we come from, we don't get honored for a lot of nothing. You know what I'm saying? And to be honored in any type of way for me, especially in this sport that we love, the sport that I'm thriving in, you know, I can't be more than humble, thankful, you know what I'm saying, and to say thank God, you know what I'm saying, because through the graces of God, I'm where I'm at now, through my grandfather and everybody else that's with me, my family, because I'm a big family man. I thank you so much, and I accept my place as the big.
I was going to say, to be fair, I did make you laugh a couple of times, but, you know, certainly on the screen, you're certainly not a man that, you know, takes things very lightly. Of course, you're our world champion, but, you know, off the screen, and I wanted to touch upon the fact it's all wrestling matters here. Right? I came up, I can't say we, it's Sports by Radio. I'm basically the Vince McMahon of Sports by Radio, but, you know, the facts is that wrestling is for everybody, right? All wrestling matters to me is about people from all walks of life, whether it's orientation, whether it's background, country, type of wrestling. And your story was so touching to so many people, champ, because of the struggles you went through, the homelessness and dealing with death and drugs and everything that's happened in the city of Baltimore. And you were basically one of these type of people that they would have said, you know what? He's not going to amount to anything. He's not going to be in a Hall of Fame. He's not going to be here. But you know what? You rose above it because you believed in yourself. You had the grace of God above, the man upstairs, the greatest person that we could ever know. He loved you, and he loved the fact that you weren't going to give up. He loved the fact that you had something that you could reach in and believe in, which is the sport of wrestling. And that's why you're here today. You're here because you have a beautiful wife that's been rooting for you. You have kids that are behind you. I know sometimes it might drive you crazy, but they're with you. You've got everybody in the locker rooms at
100% of the way.
EBW Pro and Forever EBW. But the facts are, in many ways, it is Black History Month, and it is All Wrestling Matters. And you are the first of many that will be here in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame that will be from the people that are from color, the people like yourself. In many ways, it is true. You are our Ron Simmons. You were our Mark Henry. You were our Big E. You are our Kofi Kingston. You are The Rock. Although The Rock is claiming he's Samoan these days. I mean, so I don't know what he's claiming these days, and but I'll leave that for another time. Of all the list of greats that have been there, and have been the champion, you were our champion forever. You were our first. And I believe in many ways you are going to be an example for many, many others here on Sportswire Radio. And that term, All Wrestling Matters. So as the host of the Sports Report, the owner of Sportswire Radio, your voice of all wrestling, where all wrestling matters, the Reverend Tom Bryce, I could not pick a better person to be our first and also to be our final member of our fourth class here in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame and our 40th member, champ.
Thank you, man. Look, I'm not gonna lie, right? I watched Ron Simmons win his first, world championship in WCW, and even Big E when he won his first championship in the WWE and stuff like that. Kofi Kingston and those things, to even be mentioned and honored with those guys, man, is very humbling. On screen, off screen, any type of way people want to put it. I'm thankful of that because these people were the idols that we looked up to. You know what I'm saying? And to be mentioned with those guys, those men, that support their families, that risk their lives, just like, we do in any different type of way. But those guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's major, man. And I'm pretty sure the same way that I felt when I won mine was the same way that they felt when they won theirs. Now it's time to really tighten your boots, lace up your straps, you know what I'm saying, and put your best foot forward because now you're not just a champion, you're a leading example. You know what I'm saying? Especially to so many children. There's a lot of kids that come to our events. You know what I'm saying? And the things that I do and stuff like that, it will probably agitate a few people.
We're gonna get to Orange. I promise you, we are gonna get to Orange because I actually have watched the match where you won the EBW Pro IR Championship. So I definitely have watched it, but I really think it was important that you're here, and obviously the timing of this. I obviously I've done so many of these champ. I didn't realize it's going to be in February, right? But we've had an awesome group of people that have been in the Hall of Fame. We've had people from all backgrounds and all walks of life, but to have you here also with us. I think it is right up there with the likes of a Kofi Kingston, also Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, Naomi. I want to give them a shout as well. And, they've certainly come up. But, like you said, Ron Simmons, when he beat Vader for the WCW championship back in the summer of 1992 and the doors that it broke. And obviously, I put The Rock loosely because, again, he's Samoan now these days. So I put it loosely, but I had to make you laugh. I always try to make people laugh. Mark Henry, certainly, of course, Mark Henry. Man, I was a big fan of Mark Henry. And Big E, most notably, a few years ago, Kofi Kingston. I mean, there's so many greats now. But to have you here, I think you are, in a lot of ways, that. Because, we're going to certainly have more people come in the Hall of Fame. There's more people. I've had, a lot of people I've spoke with over the years. And I have basketball players that get in the Hall of Fame as I've done a lot of basketball work. But to have you here, I really think it was important and special. And especially, again, also for All Wrestling Matters. Because, you made an excellent point, if I could for a second. I had different opportunities than you had. I could look up to anybody. I could look up to anybody down my street on my TV screen. You didn't have those same opportunities, but you did it. You made a difference, and you've made a difference for people watching this, hundreds of people watching it, whether it's people that go to these shows. You rose above. People can believe in you now. You didn't have those same opportunities. Only a
Nah,
handful of
man.
people
Nah,
that you
with
could look
that.
up to, and that's why you're here, and that's why I wanted to point that out. Because, like I said,
Thank you.
knuckleheads like me, we had thousands of people to look up to, right? I had obviously, I had my parents work. My parents probably wanted to throw me out of the house. I was such a degenerate, and I really was a degenerate. I was trying to make people laugh. But the point is that, I had opportunities that you didn't have, and there's a lot of people here that you are a role model for. You are truly a role model, champ, for everything that you've done. Maybe not so much on the screen, but off the screen, you've
Yeah,
definitely been somebody.
yeah,
I have to make it. I always try to make people laugh because it makes people feel good and they want to come back here. But you are a role
yes,
model
yes, yes.
off the screen, and I'm so excited. Champ, I have something else for you. We don't just induct you. I don't just give you the long speech. I don't just say, you're a Hall of Famer. And, like that Hall of Fame in the WWE, sure, they give you
Yeah,
a few minutes and they throw you off and you never hear
yeah,
from them again. We've done something a little different here on Sportswire. In basketball, the Hall Ringo, and hockey's Hall of Fame. It's in Toronto, Ontario. Baseball, it's Cooperstown. Football, it's Canton, Ohio. But for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters, the infamous Montana, our reigning defending EBW Pro IR champion of the world, I have something for you that you actually haven't even seen yet. And I was wondering if you'd like to accept it. Now, you could obviously decline. You could certainly, almost kind of like for those who played Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you could certainly decline. You could take the Hall of Fame speech I gave you. You could take the long introduction I gave you. Say, you know what? That's enough time. I've had enough. And you know what? Just thank you, and I'll end here. Or you could accept what I'm about to give you, because I'm sure your many friends, family, supporters, and your colleagues in the locker rooms you share might actually want to see what I may present to you. So, what would be your answer?
yes. Yeah, yeah. Let me see. I want to see.
I
Yeah.
think you know what I think. I think I really should probably quit this. Let you take over the reins, and I should try stand up comedy because people want to give me the hook already. But I'm only kidding.
What?
But
No, don't give you the hook.
it was a joke. It was a joke, champ.
Oh, man,
But for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio, infamous Montana, I have something to officially recognize you as our 40th member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. There you have it. You have a certificate with my John Hancock, my official position, today's date, our logo, and we certainly appreciate you and congratulations. You are our final member of our fourth class here in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame and our 40th member. And you'll get to take this home with you when we're off the air. I will make sure to email that to you. You will send me your email after we are done. I will
yes,
email
sir.
this to you right
Yes,
away.
sir.
Congratulations. Like I said, in wrestling, Sportswire Radio, we're the home now of it. Like I said, in WWE, sure, it's no physical Hall of Fame, but in Sportswire now, wrestlers from all backgrounds, they can always count on and know that here on Sportswire Radio, this is their home for the Hall of Fame, and you get something
Yeah.
to show that. So
Yeah,
congratulations.
man. Hey, look, certificate of appreciation. Let me
We
tell you
appreciate
something, man. I ain't even get a damn high school diploma, man. Certificate of appreciation,
Yep.
certificate period. You feel me? Yeah, man. Thank you. I
Yep.
really appreciate it, man. I love it. I
You
love it,
deserve
man.
it. No, seriously,
Kids
you
and
deserve
everything.
it.
They're gonna love and you talking about examples and everything like that, man. I want to definitely be there and try my best to be a good role model, not just to my children, but to all children. You know what I'm saying? To all kids that ever had that burning desire and dream, right? Right now, I feel like I'm making good strides in my life. I'm making good strides in my wrestling career. And this right here is not another notch under the belt or nothing that anybody would say clichely, like wholeheartedly from my heart and from my soul, man. I'm going to take this with me to my grave and for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do appreciate that and everything that you've done for me. Thank you, Tom.
Well, that's why we created the Hall of Fame. When the reason I created it really was, yes, people had asked me to create a Hall of Fame because I spoke to so many
Yeah,
people. But the truth is, no, the reason I did this, champ, is because I want to, if there's a way I can help people, if I can recognize people to give them an opportunity, if it can help open a door or if it can give you that confidence. if I could for a second, I don't want to sound like too much like a motivational speaker, but I was on a
Yeah,
podcast a few days ago, and I was on a podcast. I inducted them into my Hall of Fame on my internet radio station, and the guys actually said, Tom, you believed in me. And I didn't know if I believed in myself, but I kept going with my podcast because you gave me a platform to at least air my show and my content.
yeah,
And that allowed me to keep going. And the real none of the story was one of the guys actually is a ring announcer in Illinois for Dreamwave Wrestling. So
oh,
that shows that, you know what? This
oh,
guy, because I
shit.
gave him an opportunity, right? I gave him a chance.
Yeah,
He had the confidence
yeah,
to
yeah.
believe in himself.
Go,
He now is
get it,
chasing his
man.
dream. So you know what?
Get it,
That's
man.
why I'm here. Somebody asked me, one of our Hall of Famers yesterday, I won't say who it is. He
Right.
asked me, like, can I do something for you? I said, no, I'm here for you. It's not about me. I'm doing this to help the people that deserve to be recognized, deserve to have attention, deserve to be here, because it's about all wrestling matters and other people in other backgrounds. Certainly, yes, we do
Yeah.
college athletics, I do high school sports, I've done work in the community, and that's why I'm here. So that's why I wanted you to be recognized, and I want you to be the first, and I want you to also be inducted many more times in the Hall of Fame, because you're a part of Golden Dynasty, you're a part of For Everybody.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you might be inducted a few more times, but yes, congratulations. You definitely deserve it. I have a lot of people that want to say hello to you. Let people say hi.
Okay.
I want to say hello to one of my other buddies who's going to be in your chair coming up next Sunday, D'Angelo the Flame. He is the Resurrection Wrestling internet YouTube champion there. He is certainly going to be defending his title. It looks like a title versus career match in the state of Tennessee in Resurrection Wrestling. So big match. Yep, it's going to be in a cage. And guess what? On their card, they're going to have a couple of guys you've heard of. Jimmy Controversy, who's been in GTS, Pro Wrestling Venom. I think a few colleagues of yours actually have worked with Mr. Controversy. I'm pretty confident about that. Obviously, the Brooklyn Prodigies, they've actually worked for Jimmy Controversy's company he runs there. But obviously, Mr. LaFlame is here with us. How you doing, D'Angelo? Want to say hello to my buddy, also from the state of Maryland, the Baltimore Kid. Now, the Baltimore Kid, you have a podcast. Obviously, you've just been interviewing people. He's from Maryland. My advice, the EBW Pro IR champion, Mr. Baltimore Kid, you get in touch with the infamous Montana, because now he's more famous than Joe Montana. I turned down Joe Montana to be in this Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I want you to message this man, and I want you to get him.
Me, TBK.
He's from Maryland. You're from Maryland. And make it happen. And then I want to see a photo of the two of you guys after you do the interview. I want that posted on Facebook. I want to be tagged in it. So I want Marylanders,
baby. Yeah, go get it.
I won't mention the Ravens for both of you guys, because I was rooting for you guys, because I'm sick of Taylor Swift. But I'll move off that for a few minutes. My buddy Ethan Sorensen. Ethan, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. I think you know who this might be, but we'll certainly say definitely miss you, and I hope that you got the chain. Do you have the chain?
Oh yeah, no, I do. They ain't gone nowhere, yo.
That's good to know.
Yeah, dog. Yo, I still got it, dog.
well, and speaking of people that are actually trivia questions on Sportswire, the first guest this year came on right before you, a few days before that. The first guest of 2024, Mr. Jackson Sabre is here. Let's go, brother. And obviously, you guys were a huge part of things, and in EBW Pro, what happened afterwards, we'll certainly get to that. And we're all proud of you, champ. We're so honored that you were a part of history here. And I'll let Ethan ask this one too, because he technically should have mentioned Ron Simmons and WCW and WWE. But do you have a favorite Ron Simmons moment?
My favorite Ron Simmons moment.
Because I can give you a funny one. I'll give you a funny one, but you go first.
I ain't gonna lie. My favorite Ron Simmons moment was the first time I heard him say, "Damn." And that was my favorite.
I was gonna go along the lines of that, but I was gonna go with the bar scene. Well, I got two. I got the bar scene. It was on Monday Night Raw with the Dudleys and the Acolytes.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. Where they were in the bar, they just beat up everybody in the bar. I thought that was great. And my other one was, if you remember, they were playing cards, and it was Rebecca Romaine and LL Cool J. They had a skit. It was Farouk, Bradshaw, Rebecca Romaine O'Connell now because she's married to Jerry O'Connell. Certainly Jerry O'Connell. Certainly, you definitely are way out of your league with Rebecca Romaine. But Rebecca Romaine, who was, she was Sports Illustrated swimsuit. I mean, she was gorgeous. I mean, John
Wow.
Stamos, what the heck were you thinking? I mean, John
My
Stamos
boy was in
divorced
his
Rebecca
brain,
Romaine,
bro.
but that segment was really one of my more favorite ones. It was, like I said, it was LL Cool J. They were playing cards. They were sitting around, and
Yeah.
Rebecca Romaine was smoking a cigar. That's how you know John Stamos. Certainly, I don't know what the heck you were thinking in dropping that one, but that was my two favorite Farouk Ron Simmons moments. I thought people would like that one, but
Hey, that's good,
yes,
man. I like those moments too, man.
those are
They
good ones.
good moments. They moments
I
in time and moments in history. I ain't gonna lie. I like when I found out he was grade B with Bradshaw and a part of the Acolytes.
absolutely,
That
yeah,
was
that was great.
major, man. They used to
I
beat the
was
crap out of dudes.
Oh, they were great. Listen, along with it didn't matter what they were. They just went out and just had a great time, and they beat people up, and they were really
Yeah.
successful at it. And they were kind of right in there in the attitude era with those great tag teams with the Hardys, Edge and Christian, the
Mhm.
Dudleys, and they did great, and they were fun. Yeah, they just kicked some ass, and that's why they're both Hall of
Yeah,
Famers.
man. Yeah, man. Real talk.
And the Baltimore Kid will certainly get in touch with you. Yes, do that on Facebook. I'll make sure that happens after we're off the air. But
I appreciate
obviously,
that, man.
let's talk about the reason that you are inducted into the Hall of Fame. Honestly, leave aside all the stuff about Ron Simmons and history, is the championship you're holding here. I got a chance finally to watch that match. And boy, I don't know if you had some help or not, but there was somebody else that came out here that seems to have completed the Golden Dynasty here, and Sean Newman and
Yeah,
Champ were able to find a way and talk about the fallout from that. It looks like, which I'm going to pull the poster up here shortly in a second here before we have a big EBW Pro show here about a month or so from now, going to be on March 9th, less than a month actually, as a matter of fact. But
yeah.
it looks like Ego has gotten bigger in numbers and the Golden Dynasty has gotten bigger in numbers, but you've got that championship champ. And for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio, talk about what's to come and the feelings with that match and everything else in between.
Man, look, as far as the feelings with the match is concerned,
Yeah,
I always feel like, look, I gotta get you first. I'm not gonna wait. You feel me? I'm not gonna sit back and just wait for anything to happen to me. You feel me? Especially when I know we're going to war and we're going to battle. Them guys are good. You feel me?
absolutely.
So I had to dig deep in my soul and do something in more than one way. You feel me? To be able to acquire the guys that I got to help me do what I had to do to obtain this right here, this EBW championship. You feel me? The beef been going on for a long time, and it's my turn now. You feel me? I've been hungry for a long time. You feel me? It's like a long sprint. I ran their ass down. You feel me? And by the time I ran their ass down, they was out of breath and I wasn't. You feel what I'm saying? So the whole time, like the feelings towards it is however they feel about it to me. Because I'm gonna carry on. I'm not going to keep looking backwards to, you know what I'm saying, keep on drilling with these ready to get served again March the 9th. You feel what I'm saying? My goals is looking forward. I'm still hungry. My goal ain't complete. My job ain't done because I'm a champion now and I want to be a defending, fighting, surviving champion that I know that I can be.
You
You
know,
know,
it's always difficult. And I was speaking, we were on the air yesterday with the gentleman Thug Ronnie Thatcher, who was inducted into our Hall of Fame. We were talking about the fact that sometimes the first time out is where the champion is the most vulnerable, the first defense, because if the champion gets ingrained, they kind of know their way around. Certainly, Roman's an example of that, to a lesser extent. Seth Rollins, I mean, you can go up and down the list of champions that obviously have been there, but it's the first defense out. Now, obviously, we're going to come back here on the 9th of March, 1 month from now. And what do you do to avoid that in terms of that pitfall of the first defense? Because I think the first defense is really the most important one that you're going to have yet, Jim, because you don't want to, I know we spoke before last month on the show, but now that we're coming closer to the season, you don't want to be one of those, almost in a way, I hate to say it, one-hit wonders.
yeah, no, not at all. Definitely, man. Look, when I tell you the focus is very sharp, the eyes very sharp. You feel me? It's a reason as to why I did what I had to do. align myself with some people that I had to align myself with, because if anybody can see, after the match was over with, some guys came down there themselves, as
Yep.
far as a group of guys named Roland Havoc and Colin Graves. They didn't just unite. They didn't just, you feel me, like slide down there to save his ass, and then all of a sudden they popped up with ego shirts. I beat them to the punch. That's all they mad about. You feel me? Because if they'd have got the opportunity to do the same thing and put the drop on me, they'd have did it. Because it's been done before. You feel what I'm saying? When you talk about locker room and being a leader and listening, you feel what I'm saying? I do a lot of listening, bro, and I already knew what was coming. So I just manned up and beat them to the punch, because you gonna like it whether I did it or you gonna like it whether they did it or not. It don't matter. I just got to the punch before they did. You hear me? I'm always strike first.
So let's talk about that. Sean Newman comes out there, and you got
I
obviously
ain't tripping,
Jackson
bro.
with
I
you.
ain't tripping, bro. It's a reason why Infamous Montana is holding this right now. Not nobody else in this professional company. Let me make that statement right now. You feel me? I'm not just sitting on my ass. I do a lot of work. I put in a lot of work when it comes to this championship. Austin James, his name is on here. These guys mean a whole lot with the names that's on the side of these titles and that held it before me. And I'm getting ready to set the bar past every last one of them. I carry my ass to the gym. I don't just sit around. You feel me? I raise my kids, I make my money, and I hit that gym, son. So anybody that got a problem, you know, anybody that act like they ain't never felt this situation right here before, go on ahead and play dumb again, because I'm still hungry. It's not over. Look at my teeth. I'm hungry still. It's not over, bro. I'm a dog. I'm always be a dog.
So you mean, champ? You want more? I mean,
Yeah.
what exactly do you want, champ? You've got the championship, the prize that everybody in this sport wants right now. So what would you mean by that? You want more, champ?
I want more of the truth to come out. You feel me? I want everybody to know what's really going on, because Austin James spilled something out of his mouth at the end of the last match that we had, talking about, oh, you had to go and get my brother, man. Look, you want to run
You
your
did,
mouth,
yep.
now I want more. Since you want to run your mouth, let the truth be known, I want more. And that's going to come through pain, son. That's going to come through more pain. March 9th. Telling you.
March 9th. You want more. He talked about you had to get his
Always want
brother.
more. I'm hungry. When I pull up in the building, you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. I want that smoke, bro. I'm a real humble guy. Ask any UFC fighter, any boxer, or any basketball player how it feel when when you got to turn that switch on. I'm at a different stage in my life right now, and when this is the reason why I got to turn my switch on, bro. And when the switch get flipped, you ain't gonna be able.
Do you think? Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question, and you tell me your thoughts, because you kind of referred to the fact that Ego, you beat them to the punch.
Yeah,
So, kind of in a way, is it fair for me to ask that Ego is mad because they didn't do it, and you knew what Ego could do, and you actually, in a way, outmaneuvered them? Is that fair for me to ask those questions on that? Talk to me about what you think.
yes, sir. I mean, oh, that's ultimately fair. You feel what I'm saying? Because we playing chess, we ain't playing checkers. When I
You
say I'm
said
a
that
big
last
shark,
month on the show. Yep, you said that the last time. Yep.
yeah, man, big shark in the water. So I know that I'm swimming with other sharks that's out here, man. And you got to strategically. I'm telling you, reason as to why I'm gonna be the champion that I'm gonna be. Because like you asked me earlier, you feel me? My focus never shifts. My focus never moves. I'm a good sniper. You feel what I'm saying? And I've done my job well, and I do my job well. That's why I try to teach Maxes and teach Cassius and spit my words to Jackson Saber the ways that I can. You feel me? Because I'm going to take the bullet first. Anybody else that come from behind me know what mistakes not to make, and I'm gonna be the prime example of that.
Let me ask you this question. When it comes to EBW Pro, you guys have the gold that they want. Is it now safe to say that the Golden Dynasty has the edge over Ego right now?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and that's what they tight about. Because we
Oh, I'm
got the
sure. I
edge. They
listen.
so
No, listen. I had AJ on a couple months ago. You came on, I think, the first week of January, because we had Jackson was
yeah,
January 1st. He came
yeah.
on, I want to say, about a little over a month before you did. And they were talking about Ego and everywhere they go, or the Premier Group. Ego is this, Ego is that. But the numbers show now that it's you guys with multiple championships. You guys are the Premier Group right now in EBW Pro. And they're kind of now in a different position. If you look at Ego now in EBW Pro, they're not used to being in this position. So in a way, I think they have to deal with a lot of adversity right now because Havoc, Graves, and Austin, now they're going to look at it and say, well, they're used to being chased. Well, now they're the chasers. Sometimes you look at it in wrestling and there are certain people that are great chasers. But then when they have to chase, though, conversely, when they're the champion, they can't do it. But now it's the shoes on the other foot with Ego because Ego's used to having gold. Ego's used to be in the premier group but now in EBW Pro, it's Golden Dynasty. And I think this is kind of where Ego now, they face adversity. And how do they deal with this? And how do they overcome it? We're going to find out that first step coming up here on March the 9th.
Man, they got to formulate another game plan. We done seen it, and we done seen it. They was the premier guys for a long time, bro. And I had a while to sit back and just use my focus and my laser eye to really analyze who doing what, what's going on, and how can I dissect these people without even being a part of them. You feel me? And I was able to do it. I'm a good strategic person, man. And I play chess very well. You feel me? It's like we pulled up. You know what I'm saying? And we had the right spice to put in the mix to bring the flavor, baby. You feel me? And I know how I feel to be in the spotlight like that. You feel me? For a while. And then all of a sudden now you got reset because somebody else can just, you feel me? Like, yeah, snatch. Oh, you can't breathe now. Damn, what you gonna do, bro? You feel me? That's your problem. That's your fault. I don't care what you gonna do. I ain't ready to help your ass breathe. I help my damn self breathe. You feel me? So I think that's just really all it is. That's just all it really is, bro.
Well, you know what? I tell you what this says.
Out of position, Tom.
Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this has got me excited. I hope it does for you as well, because if you want to go out and buy a ticket, get this, ladies and gentlemen, only $20. And then get this, if you have a 10-year-old or younger, $5. Now, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go out in a little while to see a movie called Argyle. John Cena's in, a few other people are in it, Ron Howard's daughter, and I'm going to spend $20+ on a ticket in Dolby. But get this, if I were to go to EBW Pro, I could spend only $20 and see a slew of stars, including the man right now is in our Hall of Fame. Where can you go for $20 and watch a Hall of Famer in action? Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. People talk about, I'm going to see New Kids on the Block this summer. I'm going to go out there and see all these different groups this year. And you're going to spend what? Their Hall of Famers, $100, $200, $300 to want that dinner to go out with the wife and the missus. Valentine's Day is coming up. You got to get the roses. You got to get the candy. You got to get the meal. You got to get the whole 9 yards. You're going to spend almost 10 times more than that. But EBW Pro, Bound for Luck, just $20. And for more information to find out on EBW Pro, all you have to do is go right here and tell them the infamous Montana sent you, because A, he's the world champion. B, he's now more famous than Montana, and he's the final member of our fourth class in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce here. If you are on Sportswire Radio, I hope you check us out here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year on sportswireradio.org. If you like music, if you like talk, if you have a podcast out there, I would certainly welcome that you get in touch with us for free of charge. I let the people go worldwide on the radio. So if you have a dream, if you have certainly something you want to say, we give people those opportunities. Also, we're on YouTube at Sportswire Radio 6579 backspace stream. So if you want to check us out, all our prior shows, we have over 500 subscribers at 10,000 plus views the last 3 months. So I thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll have more coverage tomorrow. I'll be on after the big game to induct the first member of our fifth class. The infamous Montana is famous because he's the final member of our fourth class. Our newest member of the fifth class and our 41st member will be the nemesis James Taylor, who you've seen all over the place in Tennessee Backyard Wrestling. You've seen him in Resurrection Wrestling. He's also a YouTube star. He's Taft Taylor. He's Taft_Taylor. He's got over 100,000 plus followers between TikTok and YouTube. He's going into our Hall of Fame, so he's more famous than Taylor. The other Taylor everybody talks about, he talks a lot better than the other Taylor everybody talks about, and he's in our Hall of Fame because Taylor Swift apparently wanted to be in a Hall of Fame, but I said, you know what? I'm not rooting for the Chiefs this year. I'm really not a fan of Kelsey. I'm sick and tired of hearing about the Chiefs. And I wanted James Taylor in that. So we didn't want Taylor Swift in our Hall of Fame. We want a different Taylor in the Hall of Fame. That's why James Taylor's in the Hall of Fame instead of Taylor Swift. But we are having a lot of fun here with the infamous mindset, the EBW Pro World Heavyweight Champion. He is our IR champion. He's also going to be back in the ring there on March 9th. And, I guess speaking of fun, I guess I should ask it to you before we come back to some other stuff in the world of EBW Pro and elsewhere. So, who do you have in a big game this year? I know you can't be rooting for the Chiefs. I know you probably don't care much for the 49ers. And I know we're all disappointed because we were hoping your Ravens were going to go kick some butt.
Man.
Man. And I got to ask the burning question because everybody does at least want to know, who do you think's winning this year's big game tomorrow night?
Man, look, I don't want Kansas City to win, but I think it's designed for them to win. So I think Kansas City gonna end up getting it. You know what I mean? Because that other Taylor person you was talking about going to be there, and her boyfriend and her worth $377 million.
Oh my God!
Matter the most, right? So that's who's gonna end up taking this shit. If San Francisco beat them, bro, I'm gonna stop watching the NFL. This shit gonna be crazy. Real man, I know there's something about them, but we can talk about that later. You feel me? But yeah, the NFL is not right. They terrible. Just let them play football.
Oh my God! I on Twitter, all it was about Taylor Swift and what she get from Tokyo to the game tomorrow, and
man.
Basically, where, how is she going to get there, and how good she's been for the. In fact, she's such a thing now that the Commissioner Goodell, had a press conference Monday, and all he talked about in the press conference was Taylor Swift and how good it is for the league. So yeah, I don't think anybody outside of Kansas City would be rooting for the Chiefs, but it is over designed for because the 49ers have been here in this spot time and time again. There have been 4 championship games the last 5 years, still haven't won a Super Bowl, and I'm not quite sure about Brock Purdy. They haven't looked great in these games, so I'm picking the 49ers, but I feel like it's Kansas City's to win here. But I have a good question here though from Ethan. I'm going to actually let him answer it here. Which superstar was the? Let me phrase it in a different way because we don't want to go out and say things bad about people or hard about people. What was maybe okay? We know Austin very well for an EBW Pro, but in terms of was there anybody that was maybe such a tough opponent for you? If you want to answer Austin, fine. But was there an opponent that you were just like, I can't wrestle him, or he's just difficult in terms of just his style to kind of compare with, or anything like that? So much. So I'm trying to phrase it in a nice way that what Ethan's tried to ask here.
I ain't going. Nah, not really. It's a lot of new talent, a lot of new people that come aboard. And I try my best to watch what they do first and get myself involved with guys. I don't just sit around and let shit happen because I want to wrestle them too. I want to wrestle everybody on the roster. So, to sit there and be like, he was hard to work with or he was tough to work with, when I know that people, are working in progress like we all are.
Absolutely. No question.
I don't hold nothing against nobody. You know what I'm saying? We all going to learn. We all going to work. You feel me? If I can say like a tough opponent though, that like probably like hit hard. People don't know it. You know what I'm saying? And we know AJ brings the pain. We know Newman brings the pain. You know what I'm saying? And those
I will be getting AJ back on at some point. And I apologize. AJ and I, we do message from time to time. I will break the fourth wall. You probably figure that anyway at this point. But he will come on the show, and I'm sure he'll give probably the same answer you'll give about him.
Yeah, man. I mean, for sure. But there's a few other guys, man. James Crimson for sure.
Yes.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. DVG's getting way better. It's about
we had him on last week in DVG. I mean, he's really. I saw a picture of him on Instagram the other day in training, and he was like, he looked really good in the ring and training. I was like, wow. I mean, he's just in the 2 months I had him on, he's improved already. And then,
man, proud of him, bro, because it's about making the show great. You feel me? I don't just worry about myself. When I'm sitting back there in the back and I'm waiting for my matches to come up, or you feel me, like after my matches are done, you feel me, I'm still watching the product. You feel me? I still want to make sure that everybody is doing well and doing good in their matches. You feel me? Like, but these guys hit hard. They're getting better. You feel me? My boy DJW. You feel me? Even
Yes, we had
though,
him on. We had him on a
yeah,
couple weeks ago.
yeah,
Yeah, we were speaking with him, and we were definitely talking a lot. And a really very solid wrestler, sound wrestler.
yeah,
What I
yeah.
took away most with him was talking about the fact when I'm at work, I'm on a break, and I'm thinking about training. I was like, wow, that's an interesting. I hadn't heard that one before. That was clever. So yeah, we're definitely rooting for him. We'll definitely,
Everybody got their own little style and everything. You feel me? It's the same way with Robert Pearson. You feel me? And Jacob
Robert
Cassidy.
Pearson and the
You
Robert
know,
Pearson haircut. Robert
yeah,
Pearson,
yeah.
who's going to be coming back on next month with his Chaos Conspiracy Group, and Robert Pearson and the haircut. I feel like I could have inducted you in the Hall of Fame today. I really should have inducted Robert Pearson's haircut in the Hall of Fame. Said I'm only kidding. But I am so curious to see what Robert Pearson looks. But you know what? It's been 2 months now. Who knows if he's grown the hair back by now? I mean, he's probably going to kill me for saying this on the air.
he,
He's probably
he,
got something to say about this.
yeah, he might grow it back. You feel me? But I think he rocking it, bro. I ain't gonna lie, my man. You feel me? Look good.
Joe guys like it. It's
He
funny.
getting that shit shaped up, bro. You feel me? Go ahead and get Bippy around. You feel? Do your thing, bro. I swear.
Well, you're a good-looking guy. You could
style.
definitely. You're a good-looking guy. You're a strong man. You could obviously, tell, and yes, I'm sure the missus will agree with that.
Good-looking guy yourself. You know what I mean? Look at the curls, boy. Look at them curls, boy.
I'll plead the fifth of that. But my point was that you would know, and it's kind of a mixed with Mr. Pearson. Some people say, yeah, it's been good. Others, the look, they say, we'll find out. But Mr. Pearson, I am looking forward to you coming back on. And I should break it here very soon on Sportswire Radio. Double G is going to come onto the platform, and Double G is going to have a lot to say. And I'm excited about that one. And, anything I should be looking for, or anything you want me to say specifically to Mr. Double G, I'm going to be a lot to talk about there. We're going to get him on here in the next few weeks. That Double G is going to be here live and in studio, and we'll see what his mind is going through right now.
Man, I just hope he's ready. You feel me? Because I know the spot that he's ready to be in. You feel me? And I know what I'm gunning for and what we all ready to be gunning for this season. It's a lot of competition out there. He's very good, man. I like Double G in the ring.
Yes.
You feel me? He puts in some decent work, brother. And I'm not gonna lie, it's his whole character, bro. Like, I just dig it. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you what I am going to ask him about, which I'm sure you'll be curious that I should ask him on is, he threw in the towel for DVG against DJW, and I'm going to ask him about that. I think that would be a great topic when it comes to the world of Forever EBW. I'm going to definitely ask him that question. I'm sure that many other people would like to know what he has to say about this, especially after what DJW had to say. That's going to be a very, very interesting conversation. So I'm looking forward to that, champ. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that. So, obviously we're going to see you coming up here on the 9th of March. We're going to see you, obviously, I'm sure, defend the championship. We'll certainly get more details as the days and weeks come ahead. But, what else about in the Maryland wrestling scene that excites you? Last week we saw DVG himself with ACW introduced some guy you probably heard of named Matt Riddle. Probably heard of him. I probably seen him in a couple different places, right? And then most notably, we've got MCW out there. DBW certainly going to get back into things. You've obviously been a part of there. And I'm just wondering, what excites you most right now about the Maryland wrestling scene, aside from that guy that has some movement, who, oh, by the way, only sells the second most merchandise in the world behind some guy, Cody Rhodes, and we're talking about other than, of course, Maryland's favorite son right now.
Yeah, man.
LA Knight. But what else excites you right now locally about the wrestling scene here in the state of Maryland?
I mean, it's doing so well. It's thriving so well, man. You're seeing a lot more guys get a lot more opportunities from these promotions, Maryland Championship, ACW, and stuff like that, man. It just lets you know that the dream is very achievable. You're not far from where it's at. And, just know, like, bro, we came a long way. You know what I'm saying? Not just Maryland Championship and things like that. And I want to give all of them a big shout out, but I like EWA. If anybody has ever looked into EWA, I love what they do. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm trying to go on ahead and officially say now on this radio station, I have my own promotion started.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be
Wow.
called NLW, No Limit Wrestling,
I
and
like it.
I'm in the
Hopefully we can
works.
cover it on Sportswire. Hopefully we can have the opportunity to talk about it.
Oh, for sure, man. You know, this is my home, man. I'm inducted now. You feel
Yeah,
me?
you are a Hall of Famer at this
Knocking
point.
on the door. I'm trying to tell you, I like pancakes in the middle of the night. So, you know what I'm saying?
Well, we'll make sure to send you a care package. But yeah, so No Limit Wrestling, you're starting. And what can we expect about that? I was trying to make you laugh, but what can we
Uh,
expect of that? I think that's so cool.
a new frontier. You feel
Okay.
what I'm saying? Everything just like what it says. No limit. You feel me? No limit at all. I want to be able to be that same type of launching platform, for the guys that we know and some of the guys that are close to us that just can't get to where maybe a GCW is because we're in Jersey, but because of EBW Pro, Jordan Oliver and certain guys in New York.
Oh, Jordan Oliver, what a small world. You spoke about Jordan Oliver. I
Yeah.
am actually covering Jordan Oliver this week. What a small world of wrestling is. I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't know if you know this or not. Jordan Oliver is actually going overseas. And next weekend, he's wrestling in Scotland, Jordan Oliver. So Jordan Oliver I'm actually covering him. I'm actually, there's a match. It's him. It's UNG Mackey, I think it's Craig Forsyth and Jordan Oliver. And I'm actually talking about this match coming up this week. So what a small world. You mentioned Jordan Oliver, and I'm talking about him. I mean, this is why you're a Hall of Famer. You read my mind.
Hey, man, look, we make it to the Hall of Fame for all great reasons. You feel me? It's like one of my superpowers, bro.
Wow, you know what? This is why I like you. It's why I induct you in the Hall of Fame instead of Jordan Oliver because you read my mind. That's exactly why. But yeah, what a small world. You mentioned Jordan Oliver, and he's on a trip. He's going to be wrestling in a number of he's wrestling.
He's doing so good, man. I can remember watching him when he was little. He was little as shit on YouTube, bro. And we seen him like as a kid at some little show. It was a little show we went to out in the county, bro. And then the next thing I know, Shorty was like really making some good.
Yeah,
moves.
I actually I was on a show, let's say about a month ago. We have a guy actually going into our Hall of Fame in the UK, a guy Jam Dog who actually goes back with Finn Balor and Nikki Cross, and we were talking about Jordan Oliver, and we were talking about the show that he's on, and it's like a really big deal. And he was talking about the fact how Jordan Oliver has really become a name that overseas. There are certain guys that are in the States that certain promoters overseas, we do a lot of work overseas that they really request. It's a guy, Franco Varga. Franco's actually from Philadelphia. Don't hold it against him because obviously Eagles. But he's from Philadelphia, and he's become a big deal. He's going on a lot of these tours, and a lot of the people that have come on my platform know Franco Varga personally. I interviewed him a few years back, and Jordan Oliver now has become one of those other guys that has kind of become a really respected wrestler that, guys overseas want to book. So it's really a big deal that, he's going over there. So, yeah, I mean, what a small world.
Yeah, it's a big deal, a super major deal, man, because you like to see stuff like that, yo, because you know what's coming behind that. You feel me?
Well, you're going to come behind it because I'm going to tell my friends at Coloring Championship Wrestling and Alba Championship Wrestling that there's a Hall of Famer who's more famous than Joe Montana, and he's certainly more elite, and he's part of a golden dynasty, and he brings the dynasty into your promotion. He's in our Hall of Fame, and his name's the infamous Montana, and he does a frog splash better than anybody else out there. He's got the size and strength better than anybody else right now in this sport. And he's a Hall of Famer, and he's a world champion. So yeah, that's the truth. So
hey, man, I'm trying to make my way. You feel what I'm saying? Like I want to, like I said from the beginning, be that good example. You feel what I'm saying? Let everybody know, like you can achieve your dreams, bro. And yeah, it may not just achieve a good dream, and I ain't trying to wake up from being in the Sportswire Hall of Fame. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, bro.
Well, you're permanently in the Hall of Fame, and I also want to let you know when we're off the air on my website, your photo will actually be going on to our website in our Hall of Fame section. So you're getting more things ahead for you. But yeah, listen, Jordan, I'm going to be talking about Jordan. I promise you. I will throw your name. I will throw your name out there this week when I speak to Mr. Mackey. I will mention your name out there, and I promise you, I'll at least speak to him. I will do it off the air for sure. But absolutely, definitely, I'm really excited about Jordan. Jordan's really come a long
Yeah,
way.
man.
He's
Yeah.
had some big. I mean, he's been on some big TVs. I mean, he's
He
been like
has, bro.
really
He
like
has. Like, no
you know
cap, man. No cap. He has, man. And it's inspirational. You feel what
absolutely.
I'm saying? Because we right there brushing shoulders and elbows with the same people that we was body slamming and trampolining on. Yeah, man. So it's definitely achievable. That's where we trying to go with it. You feel me? Golden Dynasty for life. So yeah, man, we got it going, the train rolling. We got a lot of charcoal and we blowing a whole lot of smoke. So you
Oh, I
got
have no
it.
doubt about that. And
Train keep going.
as we're here speaking with the newest member of our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, our final member of our fourth class, and the 40th member of our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, the EBW IR champion of the world, the infamous Montana. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice of Low Wrestling. And I think it's a great time, especially in the state of Maryland. Obviously, LA Knight, what he's done, being arguably one of the biggest stars in the world, the Yeah movement, and then, but also I think wrestling in general. I think as somebody, I've been at this for 5 years. I've been covering wrestling for most of the time. I think independent wrestling right now is the best I've seen it in a long time
Mm-hmm.
because people are hungry for wrestling.
Oh
They're
yeah,
hungry for different venues, and you're seeing now a lot of guys that were on TVs that are fresh off it, and they're looking for places to obviously hone their craft. And
yeah.
EBW Pro is one of those places because we have Ricardo
Yeah.
Rodriguez, who's obviously a part of things here. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it shows that the wrestling scene in the Mid Atlantic, especially in Maryland, I think is as strong as it's ever been. I
Oh yeah.
know DBW is starting back up next month. I would hope that maybe we can see you back in DBW. That would certainly be a good thing to see. We have more DBW coverage coming up here ahead. The Blaze Ace Christian's coming back on the show. I know right after toward the end of the month. And we have Brandon Castelli coming on next week, and also Van
Shout
Hansen.
out Brandon Castelli, man.
Brandon Castelli, yeah, Brandon Castelli, good old the guy who I can't figure out. Is he a mauler? Is he rock? Is he rock hard? Is he maybe related to somebody who might be a sneaky Pete? I mean,
Oh, no, bro.
I,
You
I
hear
can't
me?
figure out Brandon Castelli. I mean, you shared a locker room with him. Like,
Yeah.
does he have like schizophrenia? Does he like know where he is or which character he plays? I mean, or is it like who he is? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out here with Brandon Castelli because I've had him on as the mauler. I've had him on when he's rocked hard.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
almost afraid to ask, like, is he related to Sneaky Pete? And who else could it be next? I'm serious.
Yeah, look, I ain't gonna lie, right? Sometimes you just gotta try to talk to Brandon. You feel me? Like you will have some very interesting conversations with that man, and all of them will be great. But to me, when I was in the locker room with Brandon, he was chill. He was
Well, he's a
chill.
good dude. No, Brandon's like down to earth. What I love about
Yeah,
Brandon, like, how about you? How you say, hey, we always check in with each other, and
yeah,
Brandon will just message
yeah,
me randomly, like, hey, like, what's going on? I'm thinking, okay, what did I say on Sportswire about somebody? But no, it's actually not at all because that's actually happened, but not with Brandon. Brandon's like, I'm just want to see what's going on, talk. We were talking. He was in VTW in their show, and he was just talking about his
yeah,
match with some guy that you might refer to in one company as Judgment, but the other company is Asher Christ. And we were talking, just a great guy. And I should probably ask you, when are you going to be in one of his vlogs?
no comment.
No comment. Okay, so because there you go. Somebody who's pleading the fifth here. Because I was gonna say, Brandon, you gotta branch out in the vlogs. You gotta have a Hall of Famer on the vlogs.
Yeah, no
You
comment.
gotta be able to put a Hall of Famer out there
Hey,
on the
look,
vlogs. I
when
mean,
I said I watch Brandon, man, and his style and his play is so out of this world because he's so well rounded. You
yes,
feel me?
he's a
He's very versed, man. He's been
yeah,
around.
he's
He's
like
been
a
in some parts of
physical
the world. I
wrestler,
don't know
but
if y'all know that, man.
I
He's the
listen.
man, bro.
He's like, it's funny
He
because
shocks me every time.
it's funny. He had the match with Havoc. Obviously, what a match that was. Obviously, the match with Judgment and DBW, and certainly, with Ace Christian, certainly Mr. Wakefield, who got inducted. He had great match with those guys. But what's funny? He in different opponents, he had great matches with them. They're all different opponents. I just mentioned.
Mhm.
Judgment is obviously Judgment. Chase Wakefield, well, he's probably weighs less than the wind. The Blaze Ace Christian. It was funny. The Blaze Ace Christian. I mean, it's just, I think one of the best up and coming wrestlers in the
Oh
sport
yeah,
now.
big shout out, Blaze. Yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
coming on here in 2 weeks. I'm going to have the Blaze Ace Christian, but
I'm
you know,
short of
but
that.
but I
Short of
think
that.
what's so and obviously Roland, but what's so impressive to me about Brandon is that he had great matches with 4 different opponents, 4 different styles. He had hardcore. He had technical. He had kind of more of a mat based. He kind of had more of kind of a mix of styles. And it shows you, obviously, you're doing a great job as well. You're a world champion, but to be you're welcome. But to be somebody that can have a great match with so many styles, guys, going back to Ethan's question, well, who's the hardest to work? Well, Brandon might be one of the easiest to work with,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Brandon can have a great match with almost anybody, any different
Anybody,
style. So that tells
anybody.
you the kind of opponent and competitor that he is. So obviously, I'll see him coming up here on the 22nd of February. But I have to ask you about Forever EBW. We spoke a lot about that last time on the show, but we're coming closer to the season there, and I have Double G coming on there. And anything we should look out or keep an eye on when it comes to Forever EBW, which is going to start up here next month?
Oh yeah, man. Shit, everybody been 10 times better than we were last season. You feel me? The storyline's gonna hit a hell of a lot harder. And as far as I know, somebody actually called me before I got on this. See, I'm always getting some jewels dropped and shit. You feel me?
Oh God! What did I say now?
No, not you. It's somebody coming back here today.
Oh,
And he's been gone for a while. And when we premiere back into the next season of EBW for Forever EBW, he'll be back with us.
Oh, it's exciting. Yeah, I mean, I want to say off the record or on the record. Well, we're on the record, so we're live.
On the record, baby.
I was going to say, we're going to certainly cover Forever EBW coming up here when the season starts. I'm very excited about that because obviously we spoke with somebody that knows a thing or two about running the company, and we had great conversations. Obviously, praised you a lot. Obviously, really excited about what you've done for the company, and he was very happy about you going into the Hall of Fame, and he's enjoyed our shows. And I've actually put the before I go back to that, actually the ticker on the screen here. If you want to follow Forever EBW, you can do that here on Instagram at EBW_wrestling. Twitter, although people call it X, I'll still call it Twitter. I just say both. Forever EBW. YouTube, Forever EBW 8539, and also on Facebook at EBW Entertainment Backyard Wrestling. And if you want to buy a shirt, out there, although where's the infamous Montana shirt? He's a Hall of Famer now.
Yeah, man, get that
DesignedByHumans.com, /shop, /EBW Wrestling. And coming back into Forever EBW, obviously we've had, for relatively speaking, at least here in New York, a pretty warm winter, and winter's coming to a close soon. Thankfully, I really am not a fan of the winter anymore. But does that make you motivated, knowing that, what, when I spoke to you in January, March seemed so far away. But now that we're in February, we're almost in the middle of February, you can almost see, my dad used to always say a line, light at the end of the tunnel. There would always be light at the end of the tunnel. And I kind of feel like now we're almost getting close to where we can see the light at the end of the tunnel for the season to start here in Forever EBW. Walk me through maybe your thoughts on that.
Man, shit, I ain't gonna lie. It's very, very, like, it pump you up. You feel what I'm saying? Like you said, in January, man, March seems so far away. You feel me? But when I've played many sports and I've done a lot of things in my life. You feel what I'm saying? To try to keep myself prepared. You feel me? And I think that's kind of what separates me from the pack a little bit. You feel me? Because I always try to stay focused. The closer that March is getting here and the year coming is getting here, man, it just gets a lot more intense. I find myself sometimes when I'm sitting by myself at work, I might get that quick daydreaming, or I'm thinking about you know what I'm saying, like watching myself, and I get on the phone sometime, and I just got to get back in that mood. You feel what I'm saying? Because that mood is where I want to be at. So I try to focus. Dedicate a lot of that to my wife too. You feel me? She keep my mind ready. We always in the gym. You feel what I'm saying? We ready to go. You feel me? And we ready to
I will say that of all the previous Sportzwire Radio Hall of Famers that have been inducted already, I would say maybe aside from RPD, you probably have either the most muscles or might be in the best shape. RPD was a boxing world champion, so it's like he wrestled Anthony Ogogo, so it's like RPD is like he's in his own world. He's literally like, I mean, he's just amazing. Like you're probably in terms of shape wise, and I would even say that includes Luke Leyland and Dean Olmark. Luke Leyland,
man. Thank you, bro.
Those guys. No, I'm serious.
Oh,
because
man.
you're always flexing, you're always at the gym. Luke's in phenomenal shape, but you might have a little bit more of the muscle cut there, which I think Luke is a little bit more of like the on the leaner side. So would you say, like, in terms of the previous and current Hall of Famers that we have, and not taking away anything from them. You're just maybe in the best shape of any of them, except
not taking nothing from
RPD. I mean, RPD's in his own world.
Man, I try, man. I try. I ain't gonna lie. I dedicate that to playing sports my whole life.
You know, it's funny you said that because people have always asked me. Now, I don't have the muscles you have, but I've always been, fit. I've always, certainly I've always exercised. And people always ask me, how have you always stayed in shape? And I said, well, as a kid, I always growing up in Brooklyn, I was always outside. I played basketball. I played baseball. I attempted to play football. I mean, I always played sports. I bowled.
Yeah.
So I was always like into sports. So I wasn't at home eating a bag of potato chips all day and, playing Xbox.
Yeah,
it was like, okay, go outside. I'm old enough to remember. Yes, I remember as a kid, listen, I would get up in the summers, not to go dwell too much. We'll get to more thoughts and obviously a few other things before we sign off. But, I remember as a kid getting up 10 o'clock in the morning, eating my breakfast. And then I was outside from like 11 o'clock in the morning. Maybe I'd take a break. Maybe I'd have something to eat real quick, maybe even on my stoop. And then I'd be playing really until my father whistled and said, okay, time to go. That's it. So usually in the summers, that would be from like 11 o'clock in the morning to like
8, 9 o'clock that night.
That's it. There you go. That's it. I didn't go anywhere but my block. That's it. I played wiffle ball, I played basketball, or I was out playing tag. That was it.
As long as you was getting active.
That's it. That's why I was always in shape, and that's always why I've stayed that way here. I want to say hello here to my buddy Ron Franklin. Ron, how you doing? I don't know why Ron, you might want to hold back on this thought because you're talking to a Hall of Famer right now. Listen, don't mind him. He's a Packers fan. And his Packers couldn't get the job done against the 49ers. But Ron, I just want to remind you.
Y'all gonna see us next year. So.
You definitely will. And Ron, this is a Hall of Famer. And by the way, Ron, this is the 40th member of our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame and our final member of our fourth class in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Speaking to people, we were talking about him before, and we were talking about the fact, what personality is it and what type of style he is. You think I could bring a hello from you to some guy you probably heard of that might be a mauler? He might rock hard. He might even know somebody that could be a sneaky Pete. His name is Brandon Castelli.
Hey.
Brandon?
What's up, bro? What's good, homie, man? I know it's been a little bit since I seen you, hear me? But I want to say thank you for my congratulations, brother. And I know you got mad good stuff coming up. I have not stopped watching. I have not stopped supporting. Major love to you, bro. Straight up. My boy Brandon Castelli in the building, y'all.
Brandon's going to be here in 12 days, and he's going to be talking about his match on February the 24th, 2 weeks from today, which I'm actually supporting at Amplified Wrestling. It's for a young girl battling Ewing sarcoma. I have actually supported the event. I've endorsed the event, and they're going to have a match. It's going to be V to the H against a guy that might be a mauler, might be somebody that rocks hard. And also, I want to put this message out here, Brandon. I'm waiting to see when one of the vlogs, one of these days, has on the infamous Montana, who is certainly now more famous than Joe Montana because he's a Hall of Famer, and he's certainly part of more of a dynasty because now he's in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. But let me get to Brandon. Brandon here says, thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Hope to see you soon, man. Been keeping an eye on your stuff and keep that title close to you. Uh-oh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That title close to you. That a threat, you think?
Whoa, wait a minute. You right here, baby. You right here. Hey, man, Brandon, thanks, bro. Thanks. It's all love. Hey, should definitely stand close, though.
I got good news for you, though. Could I give you the good news? Can I give you the good news?
Give me the good news.
He says you're going to be on a vlog sometime. How do you like that?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Okay. All right, that's what's up, bro.
I got to ask this question. I don't know if I asked you this before the first time, because I think it was Brandon's vlog. I'm trying to remember. It was Cracker Barrel and Waffle House. Do you happen to, in this whole craze between Cracker Barrel and Waffle House, do you prefer one or the other? Because I'm so fascinated when I get you guys from the Mid-Atlantic and you guys go to these Cracker Barrels and these Waffle Houses. I'm here in New York City, and we actually don't have either one of them.
Nah, ain't none of that shit down here in Baltimore.
Okay, fair enough. Then I'm going to move on here. Pretend I never asked that question.
Ain't none of that shit down here.
Okay, because I'm like, in some of these other states.
It's a Cracker Barrel, but like, yeah, it ain't worth it. Hey,
Because I got to be honest, people make such a big deal of them, and I'm like, I don't know. What are you talking about? Because we don't really have them here in New York City, Waffle
yeah,
House and
yeah,
Cracker
I'm good.
Barrel.
Hey, I tell you what though, when it come down to eating stuff like that, man, we whip it up. We do it fresh. You feel me?
Okay.
Yeah, man. We ain't trying to get nothing fabricated.
Well, I'll make you chuckle. I had Chick-fil-A in the Staten Island Mall. This was in the summer before I was going to go to the movies, and everybody was like, "You got to try Chick-fil-A. You got to try Chick-fil-A." And I had it, and I got to be honest, it wasn't great. It was like, oh my God, Chick-fil-A. People made such a
Yeah,
big deal out of Chick-fil-A and the chicken, and it was so
yeah.
great, and it was out of the bread, and it was
Uh,
like, eh.
I ain't a big fan of it neither, man. And they smack a pickle on your shit. Like, what the I can't do it.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, the chicken. It was like dry. It was like I was
Yeah,
better
look,
off going to like McDonald's, honestly.
yeah, look, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I'd have put a chicken patty and some hot grease on the stove with 2 pieces of white bread would taste better than that.
That would have sounded like something my father might have did. White bread, Wonder bread. It was Wonder
Shout out
white
to
bread he would
Pop.
buy. Yeah,
That's
he'd
right.
buy the
Shout
Wonder white bread and put it on there. Although I have to say, I haven't had white bread in ages, but I do go for Italian bread because I just like the bread. But we're in New
Oh,
York. I
no,
mean, New York.
Italian bread smack. Italian
And
bread
well, in
smack.
New York, it's kind of that's what we're known for, really. We're known for that. But Brandon says he'll be there. Okay, we'll see you on the vlog. I hope that's the case. But before we get to closing notes, is there anything else, Champ, that you'd like to tell us that we haven't known or haven't asked you? Is there anything else on your mind that you'd like to address to us before we let you officially take your place in history and obviously get ready for March the 9th and everything else ahead coming up?
To be honest, yeah, man, I want to highlight everybody. Enjoy life. You feel me? Every day not given. You know what I'm saying? Some days we might wake up. You feel what I'm saying? But it's not promised to even live today throughout the rest of that day. So yeah, man, find a place somewhere where you can feel blessed and be thankful for the things that we get and be thankful for the things that you're able to do. You feel me? Because something simple as driving a car. Everybody ain't got one of them. You feel me? Having to be able to turn your lights on in your crib. Everybody can't do that. You feel me? Some people froze during this winter. So a lot of people was in the cold this winter. You feel me? And it was a brutal winter. You feel me? So stay humble, man. Keep y'all head up and y'all stay focused everywhere. You feel me? Get better at what you're doing. If you writing them poems at home girl, write them poems. You feel me? You want to be the next Bianca like my daughter Taylor? Let's get it together. You feel me? We all need somebody behind us to give us that push because children all got big minds and you feel me? Like we just got to give them that push, yo. So whoever we are, if we the older person, find that younger person to lock on to and give them that push. Don't settle for being standard. Let's all get active in our life and be that person that we want to be. Everybody got their own story. Be the superhero of your story. You feel what I'm saying? Wear your cape proud. I don't care how big, how long, how tall your cape is, whatever. Wear your cape proud, man. Be the be the superhero in your story. And I don't care what it take to be the superhero. If you gotta do some villainous shit to become a superhero. One of my idols, I want to say rest in peace too. He's a rapper. His name Young Dolph. You feel me?
Okay.
And Dolph did a lot of stuff that people would consider to be bad, that he considered to see as blessings because of where he came from. You feel me? He made it out of the place that where he came from. He did now. You feel me? But whole time, the way he lived, the way he raised his kids, the way he took care of his mother, his grandmother and stuff. You feel me? He said any drug he ever sold, he never saw it as a bad thing. You feel what I'm saying? He seen it as a blessing because he never died over it. He never went to jail for it. You feel what I'm saying? He was able to support himself and his family for it. You feel what I'm saying? So like whatever you got to do for yourself, be that superhero. I'm not telling y'all get out here and do nothing crazy like that. I'm not saying that.
Sure.
That's his story. That's his story. Know your place. Know your story.
Sure.
You feel what I'm saying? Get into trying to find out who you are and where you at in the Bible. Don't let it take for your ass to go to prison before you really get it. You feel me? Everybody not gonna get that chance to get out of prison. Don't bump your ass on the curb when you ain't got to. You feel me? Try to live your dream. Be happy every day, y'all.
I
And
always look at life and you can't judge somebody unless you've walked in their shoes. So you can't because somebody might have did something, you don't know why they had to do it. So you always what I've always learned in life, I mean, is that I always try to let people talk and let people talk about what's made them who they are, because I think you can always learn from somebody and learn from somebody in their story. And I think the moral of the story, champ, is that you've been somebody that has always done it to believe in something. And you've been somebody that's dealt with a lot of adversity. You've certainly seen a lot, but you're here and you've been a great example. And I have no doubt that your daughter will certainly become the next Bianca. Although I don't know if you'd want the long hair with the really, really long tail like that. I mean, I don't know if you'd necessarily want that, but I have no doubt that, you know what, you got the genes, and I think that she'll do great. And I think that she's going to do great because she has somebody to look up to, somebody that she can believe in, somebody that's a world champion, and now somebody that is a Hall of Famer and the 40th member of our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame and our final member of our fourth class. He is no longer the infamous Montana. He is the famous Montana, more famous than Joe Montana. I was working on that because, you know, Joe Montana's a trivia question, because there's a stat now that before, if Mahomes wins tomorrow, it's Bradshaw, it's Montana, it's Aikman and Brady, the only quarterbacks who have won 3 Super Bowls. So I've been using that in my line. I mean, I got to bring this up when he comes up tomorrow, because he'll probably chuckle, he'll laugh at it. He might say maybe he'll use it. Maybe he'll use it. So we've
straight
done
up.
all of
Hey, I don't want to feel like I had. I took you. I wanted to talk to you about that anyway, because that's slick.
Talk to me about it.
I love
What did you want? What do you want? You want to say? You wanted something further about that? Was there something else you wanted to say?
The Joe Montana, the Hannah Montana,
I was gonna use the Hannah, but I'm like, you know, it's Super Bowl weekend. Let's stick to Joe, because, you know, everyone goes, Joe Montana. Wow, he's more famous than Joe Montana. I mean, we know you're better looking than Hannah Montana these days. You know, I did kind of watch Hannah Montana. I mean, I'm of the age, but Joe Montana, definitely everybody goes, oh, Super Bowl weekend, Joe Montana. But you got the gold. Joe Montana doesn't have the gold right now, but you have the gold. And you also are a Hall of Famer. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have had on here officially, like I said, our 40th member of our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, our EBW Pro IR champion of the world. And one more time before we get to closing thoughts, EBW Pro returns with Bound for Luck, their first show of the year in 2024 at the Pine Grove Civic Association Center. The doors will open at 5:30. Bell time is 6 o'clock. It's 4 weeks from today. It's going to be there at 827 Hersey Avenue in Gloucester, New Jersey. And get this, all tickets, only $20. I repeat, I'm going to go to the movies tonight, and I'm going to spend 2.5 times that.
Yeah.
You can see there you go. You can see a Hall of Famer in the ring for $20. A Hall of Famer for $20. And a world heavyweight champion. And that's why you need to follow EBW Pro. And you want more details for tickets, all you have to do is go right here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, EBW Pro. And the infamous Montana is going to return to the ring here next month. And I can't wait to talk about it here. I can't wait to talk about the future. My friend, I'm going to give you the floor now on this historic day. Congratulations to you. I now let you speak. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? The floor is absolutely yours. And thank you for all you've done for us in making history. Fire away.
I'll say thank you again for helping me to make history. You know what I'm saying? I want to say thank you to my counterparts as well. You feel me? Because in this game, you feel what I'm saying? To make history and to do things that we're doing, it takes another person. You feel what I'm saying? So I always want to say thank you to them, thank you to God and everybody else. But that part's over. I want to say Golden Dynasty forever. Ego, y'all gonna get thrashed March the 9th. I'm EBW, IR champion for a reason. Read it and weep. If you don't like it, do something about it. It's still strap season. We got somebody coming. Get y'all drink Pride? Y'all drink Pride? Yeah. Hey, get y'all shit together, man.
Rowan Havoc drinks like for breakfast. You know he's drinking. He drinks for breakfast, Rowan Havoc.
But he don't drink Prime.
That may be so. That may be so.
Y'all know what I'm saying, Prime for. Yeah.
Well, he might not even know where he is right now, because he probably is already pre-drinking for the Super Bowl tomorrow. Knowing Rowan Havoc, he's probably
he's gonna miss half the game.
Exactly. He might even miss the whole game.
Yeah, man, he's gonna be wet before the goddamn going boy Usher bring his ass out there.
I don't think Rowan's gonna know where he is. I think by the time Usher is out there, Rowan's gonna be out like a light.
And we ready. We ready, man. You feel what I'm saying? 2024 gonna be a major year. I'm gonna really try to press the bar for myself to put in more work to become better. You feel what I'm saying? To perform a better arsenal of moves. I don't want to be, stagnant and just be remembered. Oh, he did this move. He did no, 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 no. There's so many steps to this dance, and I'm trying to learn a lot of them. You feel me? We got some good guys around us. I believe in our roster, especially EBW Pro, man. Come on, y'all, get out here.
Some great names in the EBW Pro roster. Some great
Oh
names.
my goodness, man! Show us some love, show us some support. You feel what I'm saying? If hey, look, if you trying to get to the show, you feel what I'm saying? Y'all can holler at me on Facebook. You hear what I'm saying, man? You ain't got you ain't got the dub. I might shoot the dub for you. You feel what I'm saying? Because you want to support, you want to be there, man. I got a lot of loyal people and a lot of loyal fans and stuff, and I just want to say thank you to each and every last one of y'all, all our subscribers, everybody that watches us on YouTube and that does attend us the show. But yeah, y'all get ready, tighten up your boots. You feel me? Get your little neckties and shit together so when y'all come in the building, everybody gonna know what the business is. You feel me? Because 2024 Golden Dynasty taking off, and so is the infamous Montana.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know one thing. I cannot wait until March the 9th for EBW Pro to return for Bound for Luck, and I think is going to be no luck needed for the infamous Montana to continue his reign as the most famous Montana out there, certainly more famous than Joe Montana, more famous than Hannah Montana, and certainly more bigger than the state of Montana, as he is going to continue to reign supreme as the EBW Pro IR champion of the world. And Ego is going to try, but I think they're going to have a very tough time to do that because the Golden Dynasty is more golden than ever. They've got the gold that everybody wants here in this sport. You can follow EBW Pro on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can also check out Forever EBW for more information. Also, DBW, our friends at DBW below. Also, before I sign off, Ethan Sorensen one more time says, thank you so much, Tom, for the amazing podcast, and congratulations to the EBW Pro IR champion, the infamous Montana. You absolutely deserve to be a Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. He absolutely does deserve to be a Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer, and I could not think of a better person to be our final member of our fourth class and the 40th member, and that's a great class, and he made it even more great. He made it even more golden. He's made it even more famous, and that's why he's here, and that's why we turned down Joe Montana and Hannah Montana and the state of Montana to be in the Hall of Fame, because he's here with us. So that's why we're here. And
Yes,
champ, congratulations. I definitely can't wait to have you back on after EBW Pro's Bound for Luck show. We'll definitely talk to you after the show. We'll talk about the match. We'll talk about everything else I have to know about from you. And we'll obviously get Forever EBW coverage also in the works. So I can't wait to have you back on and certainly the next month or two, and certainly see what else is going on in your mind. And obviously shout out to your counterparts in the Golden Dynasty and in both companies. And congratulations. Thank you for being a part of history. Thank you for everything you've done for this sport, making it all wrestling matters. And your story that's certainly off the screen inspired a lot of people, but certainly on the screen, you've certainly deserved it because you kicked a lot of butts and you're going to kick many more of them ahead. So congratulations. Thank you so much for all that you do, and we'll see you here very soon.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for all you do.
You got it. There you have it. That's the 40th member of our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, our final member of our fourth class. He is the one and only infamous Montana. He is the EBW Pro IR champion of the world. He returns to the ring March the 9th, 1 month from today at Bound for Luck. Stay tuned to EBW Pro's site for more details. We will have more coverage with Double G in the near and distant future. He will be here live. We will also induct our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame tomorrow, our first member of the fifth class, the Nemesis James Taylor. But until then, if you're on sportswireradio.org, you're going back to your regularly scheduled programming. And if you're on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, I'll be back tomorrow after the big game. But until then, thank you, everybody. Thank you to EBW Pro. And thank you to the infamous Montana. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters.